Manager Tommy Barrett. Tommy, has your team been refreshed after the 2 week break now this week?
Yeah, look, we gave them a few days off. We were back in training last Thursday, just giving them Monday and Tuesday off, and we trained a full week this week as normal. So, yeah, look, we should be. It's a long season. What are we? This is our 21st game coming up, so we're looking forward to it.
I remember the first time a break came in the season where you had a week off. It came at a very good time for you, and you bounced back and did really well again after the break. Do you think it came at the right time again for you this time?
It's hard to know, Adrian. We've, I felt, we weren't at our best. We were certainly a bit flat against Wexford, so that might help. But the week previous we put in a really good performance up in Bray, so we were very good that game. We just unlucky in the 91st minute. I thought we could have won that game. But you're only as good as your last game, so we have to go out and prove on Friday. We certainly need a better performance.
Yeah, because you've been off for a couple of weeks, I suppose people may have forgotten what your injury situation is like. What's the update in terms of players out and coming back?
Dean George is another couple of weeks off. As Sean Gearn's a bit longer. We're hoping to have Dean back in doing a bit of running tonight, and we'll get him tested next week and see how he is. Matt McKevitt is still going to be out with a knee injury. He's going to be out for another couple of weeks. Red Hanlon was carrying that dead leg, and even he wasn't 100% against Wexford. You could see it in him. But he seems to be training okay, and he seems to be okay. Who else has been injured? Joel has been a bit ill all week, non-COVID related, obviously. Well, we'll see how he is for tomorrow night. But other than that, we have Sean Gearns, as I said, is out for another few weeks. So other than that, we have a full squad to choose from. So we'll have a strong team and a strong bench to pick from.
Yeah, you're facing a Cobh Ramblers side who find themselves second bottom in the league under new management in Darren Murphy, a player who you probably would have played against with Cobh in the past. They've been in trouble in terms of form in the league. They haven't scored in 3 games. Then they go out and lose to Maynooth in the FAI Cup, which is far from ideal from them. But in one way, Tommy, it always makes the side more dangerous when they have something to prove as well.
I think it does, Adrian. Yeah, look, and like every team in this league, you have to be at your best, and I think that goes for most teams. Even the likes of Shelbourne drew them 2-2 a few weeks ago. So up in Tulka, as far as I can remember, so they're a dangerous side. They got some very good attacking players. They got some very good experienced players, and we'll have to be at our best to beat them. We just look back at the other results, like Wexford. We were lucky to get a draw. I felt the last game, but they've been improving massively. I think Galway took a 95-minute goal to in the same with Shelbourne. If it beat them with a penalty, So there's nothing in this league. You have to be at your best every week to get any kind of result. And any result we get, any points gained are really good for us and are hard earned.
Yeah, most pundits, shall we say, would have pictured Cobh in the playoff race anyway. Are you surprised from the players, even yourself, that they find themselves in second bottom position going into the last 7 games?
Look, you need a bit of luck, and they were a bit unlucky in a lot of games, and we dug out some results, and that's why we are where we are, and things can go for you in any particular one year, and it's kind of went for us so far this year. But like I've saying it all year, and it could change at any time, and the last few weeks has been difficult for us, but at the same time, we're on 33 points, the same points as UCD and Bray, and we're 2 points off Galway, and on the pitch we probably have more points gained in Galway. I know they got the few against Cabinteely that time, but they'll, it's I suppose it's been a fantastic season for us. If they're the facts, with 33 points, what they gave us at the start of the year, and to be where we are, it just shows how good the lads have been, and we've probably risen expectations a bit, and that can bring its own pressure as well, but there's no pressure on us. As I said, any point we gain is hard earned, and Cobh will be a huge challenge for us.
Yeah, I was going to say, your side have obviously overachieved. Tommy, looking at it from the most cautious situation and looking at it with one eye in terms of trying to get into the playoffs, your side are currently 8 points ahead of Athlone, 11 ahead of Cork. Both those sides play each other this week. Considering the games you have coming up, which would be Galway, Cork, Shelbourne, Cork banging form, shall we say, as well, do you think that this means that Friday night is almost in must-win territory if you're looking at it from the playoffs situation?
It's hard to know, Adrian. it can change any week, you know. Like we just have to take it game by game, and I know you're sick of hearing that probably, but you know, when you look at it, we could be second after tomorrow's game, you know, if we win, and we could be still fifth. So how bad, you know? So we have to be positive. We have to go out there and put in a good performance. And like, there's not many teams in brilliant form, you know. Athlone got the win, you know, and they might turn things around. Cork obviously have been in really good form, but outside of that, you know, like Bray, haven't lost in a long time, but they've got a lot of draws in there. Galway have lost 2 of the last, I think, 4, you know, and they've won 2, you know. So, you know, we just need to hopefully get a result tomorrow. And first and foremost, if we start with a draw, obviously, but you know, if we can get a win, we'll be hoping to get a win, like we will every game. But you know, it's going to be really difficult, and it's going to be really difficult next 6 or 7 games. But you know, whatever happens, and we just have to go out and do our best tomorrow.
Yeah, your side have obviously earned the right, Tommy, through very hard work, but to maybe express themselves a bit more, which they have done in recent weeks. I know that our 2 analysts on our podcast, Noel and Jason O'Connor, said that they believe that the team will have to maybe revert to the defensive solidity that they've shown throughout the whole seaon to get a result. What's your thoughts on that?
I didn't hear anything this week, but I know a few weeks ago they were calling for us to wishing to open up a bit more, so you know, you can't have it both ways. But I felt, you know, the last look against Bray, you know, we were back to our best. I felt, you know, a 91st minute goal it killed us, and against Wexford, we were too wide open. That's, you know, obvious. We were you know, Wexford were good now, mind you know, you have to give them credit too, you know. They've been very good, and they were very good against us, but we were flat. We didn't hold our positions well enough, and I would say the same in the Cabinteely game. So you have to get that balance right. You have to entertain, you have to go and try score goals, you know, and I think we've scored in most games, you know, bar, you know, obviously Bray twice, and Galway, I think. So, you know, it's not like that we're a negative team all year, you know. We've I think the 3rd or 4th highest scoring team in the division, so that shows that we can score goals all year. And you know, you're going to get games like that where, you know, it doesn't go your way, and it certainly hasn't gone our way, particularly the Cabinteely game. And look, last week was a good point against Wexford. You know, we'll take it. You know, at the end of the day, we weren't at our best, but we got a good point.
Yeah, and a final note, Tommy, it's non-related to the Electricity League. Last night, heartbreak for Ireland against Portugal, with Cristiano Ronaldo scoring 2 goals right in injury time. Obviously, you know yourself, Stephen Kenny, from your time in the League of Ireland quite well. Do you think that performance shows that, you know, this team, there is a good future there for this team, and that we obviously need to capitalise on it now against Azerbaijan and Serbia, really?
They do. They need a couple of results in there, you know. Even if they got 4 points, and just to get off the mark against Azerbaijan, to get 3 points, I think, you know, it'd be a shame not to get to 3 points after yesterday's performance. I thought they were excellent. I thought to a man they were really, really good, and it was a bit of a sickener in the 91st and 95th or 96th minute. But you know, look, I think Stephen Kenny is, you know, in fairness to him, he's been very brave. A lot of managers would have went in there and just shut up shop, and he's sticking to his principles and his ideals, and hopefully he's given the time to develop that. Like, you know, I was just even listening to the commentary last night, like, and you know, they were looking to play out from the back. If you're going to play out from the back, sometimes you're going to get caught, and you know, we're going to have to get used to that as a nation if that's what we want. If we want to play that type of football, you know. And they mixed it up in the second half. You know, I think you have to try and mix it up as well, because, you know, we're not at the stage yet where we can dominate possession. So it's certainly, there's good indications that the future is bright with a lot of them young players, particularly with Ida. I thought was excellent. Cullen was very good. You know, the boys at the back were all very good, and obviously the 2 experienced lads as well. The wing backs were top class. So, you know, look, hopefully I get 3 points against Azerbaijan.